Is working out 3 times a week enough to build size and strength? Common wisdom says that the more you work out, the better your results will be. But is that really true? In this video, I'm going to give you an unconventional answer to the question of whether working out 3 times a week is enough to build size and strength. The first thing to understand is that gaining muscle and strength is something that happens over a relatively long period of time. Think months and years. And the biggest factor in seeing results is consistency. Showing up to the gym week in, week out, with proper deloads, of course. Given that, you have to be honest and ask yourself, can you really sustain working out 4 or 5 times per week or more for months and years? I think the answer for most people, if they're really being honest, is no. However, 3 days in the gym is quite doable for most people, even those with really busy schedules. And personally, I've had excellent success using 3-day per week workout routines. Furthermore, there are several randomized controlled trials which I looked at which really don't show much of a difference between working out 3 days or 4 days per week in terms of size and strength. And even 6 times a week versus 3 times a week doesn't seem to show any big differences, at least in the short term. And there's even a slight benefit in terms of strength for the 3 times per week group. And I'll leave a link to those studies in the description in case you want to take a look at them. In fact, training 3 days a week provides excellent recovery time in between sessions, which is crucial for muscle growth and strength gains, especially for beginners and intermediate lifters. And recovery is an underrated facet of muscle growth. So training 3 days a week really allows you to fully recover in between sessions. Now, there are several different types of routines you can do using a 3-day per week routine. 1. Total body training. 2. Push-pull legs. 3. An upper-lower split working legs once per week. If your main goal is strength and technique refinement, then doing total body training 3 times per week might be optimal. For pure muscle growth and a bit more variety, push-pull legs can be more effective. And an upper-lower split is somewhere in the middle and honestly a really nice compromise, which is why I mostly do upper-lower splits. Now, here's a pro tip. You can fuse total body training and upper-lower splits by doing 1 upper, 1 lower, and 1 total body session per week. Now, there are some keys to making 3 days per week actually work. One is to make sure you're doing enough volume and intensity. Volume is simply the amount of work performed in a workout, measured primarily in total sets, but also in reps and exercises performed. For instance, on a total body day, this might mean 3 sets each of squats, bench press, rows, barbell curls, and triceps extensions. Now, intensity is how heavy and how close to failure you're lifting. Generally, volume and intensity have an inverse relationship. The higher the volume, the lower the intensity, and vice versa. But given that you want to make sure your time in the gym really counts when you're doing 3 days per week, you just want to make sure you're doing enough exercises. And I recommend 6 per workout for most people, except for legs, which can be a little less, like 4 to 6. And you also want to give enough intensity to elicit growth. But the other factor you want to make sure you are working to achieve is progressive overload, which is the single most important factor in getting results from a 3-day per week or any other type of routine. This basically means doing more weight and or more reps with the same weight with a given exercise, but there's a little more to it. So go watch my video where I demonstrate in detail with examples exactly how to achieve progressive overload and see results faster.